Hi, I'm Andi. Welcome or welcome back. I'm really happy that you're here. I never use my liquid shadows. I don't have a ton of them, but I have enough to where it feels wasteful that I don't use them. So luckily, my friend DW over at Dub's Beauty Diary contacted me and said, hey, let's do a collab using the Juvia's Place Ankara liquid shadow. I was all about it because she's on the chopping block. She is on the chopping block. I don't use my liquid shadows. So using this shadow, I will create this look, bring in some other shadows, make it cohesive. It's gonna be fun. Stick around. I went ahead and did some of my base makeup so that I don't do it after. I usually do my eyes first, but today I thought that I would just use some shadow shields, but I basically just have my foundation, bronzer, contour bronzer on. I don't have blush on yet because I'm not sure which direction I'm going to go. I have a couple palettes over here in mind, but I want to swatch this first because it's been a while since I have swatched this. I've never actually used it. It is very gold, kind of green, kind of teal, flippy goodness. But you are seeing, oh, there's a little bit like an orangey red, gold. Okay, I'm using singles. I'm doing Beauty A to Z this year and with all of my singles, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So I'm going to use some singles. Some of these are from Colourpop palettes. I will let you know which ones are which. And I'm going to pull some out here. So we're going warm. We're going to do a warm look. So I need to start with some eyeshadow primer. This is the Alter Ego. I just took the stopper out of it. Now it's really messy, but I couldn't get anything out of it. In contemplating this look, I was going to do greens and browns because that would look amazing. But that's kind of expected, I think, because it's so greeny browny. I know that DW is going to do something out of the box and beautiful because that's what she does. You guys, I'm a monochromatic girl. If I look at a palette and it is not a monochromatic palette, my brain does weird things like, well, I can't do it. Look with this. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. You just have to think outside the box. And I'm not very good at that. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this shade called Nostalgia. And this is from the Colourpop Through My Eyes palette. If you're new here, hey. If you're new here, I depotted a lot of my Colourpop palettes. So I have a lot of Colourpop singles now. I'm just going to put this on the transition area. I usually have my mirror over here because that's where I usually look. And I always start with this eye. So if I do that, you can't see it. So I moved it over here, and I'm hoping that that works out a little better for you. I mean, it works out for me because as long as I can see myself, it doesn't matter. But that is such a pretty shade. And I'm just patting that on. This is not a primer that I set. So if there's no powder underneath, if there's no powder that's set down my primer, I like to pat it because if I just go in all willy-nilly and start blending, I'm going to have a lot of creasing because I have creasy eyes. And recently, I have burnt the crap out of my eyes with a product. I'm not entirely sure which product, but I know that it's a product that I used. I'm doing elimination of my skincare to see what it was, but my eyelids are just dry and crepey. They were crepey before. They're really bad now. Now I'm going to go into this shade called Wild Soul. This is also from the Through My Eyes palette. It is a nice mustardy shade, and I'm going to go just at the top of this and kind of use that as a transition shade. Going very, very warm. I was not going to. I was going to go grungy greens and cool browns. but I changed my mind. This one's always higher, always. And now I'm going to go into the shade 2B from the Colourpop Wannabe palette. And it is more of a paler yellow. And I'm going to go, I'm just using the same brush. I just flipped it over. I'm just going to go right at the top of that. And then I will blend that top shade out with like a cream color or something. I just want a really nice blend. But I love the mixing of the shades. And I will go back and retouch all of this when I'm done with my shimmers, because I always do that anyway. Ooh, that's a bright yellow. That is a bright yellow. I'm going to take a floofy brush. Floofy brush is a motor brush. And I'm going into the You Have Me by Sydney Grace. This is such a beautiful, warm shadow. And I'm putting this on the outer part of my lid, outer corner, almost to the middle. And I'm really blending it. You know, I was watching one of Lena Dalton's videos, and she talked about how long it takes her to blend off camera when she's doing an eye look. Girl, same. Because I've been editing videos before, and I'm like, holy cow, how long are you blending that? But it's because of having textured eyelids. I want to make sure it's a seamless blend. I want to make sure it's a there's no lines, there's no wrinkles in there. And so I sit and blend forever. So I usually cut a lot of that away, because you guys don't want to sit here and see me blend forever. Unless you do, and then let me know. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, I didn't put my shadow shields on. Oh my gosh. I'm so used to doing my eye makeup first. I'm going to have to clean that up. I'm going to have to clean it up. Man, you guys, they're sitting right here. Okay. I think that's blended enough for now. So, yeah, that's going to look badass. I'm going to love that. But in the outer part, I'm going to use, I wasn't going to use this, but I am now. For the outer part, I'm going to use this. It didn't break. Thank you. For the outer part of my lid, I'm going to use the shade Maraschino. This is from the Main Squeeze palette. And it is kind of a bright pinky orange, like a melon or like a cantaloupe. It's very pretty. I've been using it a lot lately. I'm going to put on some glitter primer before I do this. This is the total opposite direction of what I was going to do. But that makes me happy. Sometimes planning out your makeup goes haywire, and then you're disappointed because it didn't turn out the way you wanted it. That happens with me often. But sometimes going in without a plan gives you the most beautiful looks that you were not expecting. So I love that. Okay, we're going to go into the Maraschino shade. And I'm just going to put it like right here, on the outer part of my lid. I purposefully just wore a gray shirt because I wasn't sure which direction I was going to go. So when I go off camera and finish my face makeup and come back, I'll probably be in the shirt that I'm actually going to wear. Because I had no idea. I almost put on one of my camo jackets because I knew I was doing grungy greens and browns. And I'm glad I didn't, because that would have swayed my decision on what to use. Wow, that's really bright, but I really love it. Okay, now I'm going to go in with a smaller floofy brush, And I'm going to go into the shade Relax by Sydney Grace. And it is just a cool brown, but it's not going to look cool when I put it on. I'm putting this in my outer corner. I wanted to put that shimmer on first to blend it, blend the two together. And I'm just doing it in the very outer corner. Sometimes I like to put my shimmers on first and then do everything else. Sometimes I don't. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day. I don't have one certain way that I do my eyes. I do them however I feel like doing that day. The star of the show, Miss Ankara here. I don't know if I'm going to put this directly on my eyes, my lids, or if I'm going to put it on my hand and use a brush. I'm not very versed in liquid shadow. I have liquid shadows. I never use them. I never use them, which I think is why DW posed this idea of this collab, because she saw that I had this and she has this, and since I don't use it and actually was thinking about decluttering it, all of them, all of my liquid shadows decluttering. Okay, we're going to try it both ways. I'm going to put it on my hand. Man, I'm looking at it and it looks super green. Super green. And then I'm going to go in with a brush. And I don't think I like that way. I love putting on shadows with a brush, especially shimmers, because I feel like I have more control. But let's just go straight in, and then I'll blend it out with a brush. And then I'm going to put a shadow in between those two to blend the two together. I just decided that just now, and I know just the shadow to do it. I can't believe this thing has not dried out yet. I got this when I got the Culture palette, and it's been easily 2 years. Just put a little bit more on there. I think I have too much in my inner corner. That is so pretty. See, this is, I don't understand why I don't use certain things. So to blend those two together, that's why I'm doing this eye first, because I want to see if this works. I'm going to use the shade Asteria. And this is a Devinah shadow. One of my favorites. I know I say that about all of them, but I'm going to put that in the middle of the two to kind of blend them together, because this has a gold, green, pink flip. Yeah, I like that. I do like that. It's not entirely a seamless blend, but it does blend better than the two before. Luna was going insane. I had to go see what's going on. Nothing. She heard someone had the audacity to be outside the door, like in their own yard. Audacity. Okay, let's try this again. See how that works. I'm using a smaller brush this time. Both of the brushes that I used are AOA Studio brushes, Shot Missé brushes. And I love them for shimmers. Love them for shimmers. I don't think that's enough. There. Put a couple more dots on there. And then I will go back in with the Asteria in between the two. Wow, that is so freaking pretty. You guys, this is so unexpected. And that makes me happy. That makes me very happy that I did not do something that I expected to do. That Asteria is perfect to blend those two together. I do have to retouch this a little bit because I got a little lost. Okay, now I'm going to go back in to the Nostalgia shade that I put on first, and we're going to go right around the crease, kind of clean all that up, because I'm honestly a disaster when I do my eyeshadow. I really am. As long as the end result comes out the way you want it to, it doesn't matter what the process looks like. I still can't believe that I forgot to put my shadow shields on. The one thing about this, it's hella texture on the eyelids. You can see all of my texture. You can see all my old shining through. I think I am going to go back into the Honeybee, no, 2B, and I am going to kind of blend that out a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is take the Laura Geller. This is the Baked Original Highlighter in French Vanilla. I don't use it as a highlighter. I use it as a blending out shade for right underneath my brow bone. And it's really perfect for that if I'm doing warm looks. I think this is good. I like this. I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to clean all of this up. Liner, lashes, lips, hair. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. And we're back. Welcome back. Really happy with my finished look. Really happy that I didn't come in here with an actual plan, just an idea. And I went completely opposite of that idea. And that, my friends, is why I love makeup so much. You just sit down to create and go where the makeup takes you. And that's so much fun to me. I love sitting down here to be creative without having an actual plan in mind. Everything that I used on the rest of my face will be listed in the description box below. If there's a link for it, I'll give it to you. Some of the stuff might be discontinued. My bad. But if there's a link to it, I will give it to you. I am so happy that DW reached out to me and asked me to collab using this little lady right here because she was destined for the declutter bin. She was. And because of her age, I was just going to throw her away. I'm very happy to realize that liquid shadows are not near as hard to use as I thought they were. I don't know. Sometimes you got to get out of your own head. You just have to go to where the makeup takes you. All you have to do is sit down and create. And then you'll know what you like, what you don't like, all of that. Thank you, DW, for reaching out. I had so much fun doing this collab. And thank you for reacquainting me to my Juvia's Place Ankara liquid eyeshadow. You guys, I will have DW linked in the description box below, as well as a link to her video. Don't forget to go check her out, see what kind of look she creates. It's going to be stunning. I already know it. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. And until next time, everyone, have a great day, and we'll see you later.